Hello, it's me again, Miss Float. It turns out that being a woman actually is a serious risk of you not being cited. So let's begin. Paula Chandlerji published this year a paper which examined the citation of more than 5,500 papers in order to elaborate on the difference between citations of female and male authors in medical science. The results didn't surprise me. The thing is that if the first author and last author of the paper are both female, they have actually 50% less chances to be cited in another publication, as opposed to when both first and last author are male. When you compare the first author being a female, even in highly cited journals, medical journals, means that you're making in your career on that level, that you're published in highly cited scientific journal, the chances are that this is only 1/3 of chance being cited in other papers as opposed to male scientists. Why is this so? First of all, there are not so much female who are making it in the science because they are discouraged, because if you look at the numbers of successful candidates enter university, they are comparable. They are 50-50 in many universities, but later on, due to some family or life obstacles, less and less women are progressing with their scientific career, not only because they opt to have family, because males also have a family, but this is simply discouraged in many subtle and obvious ways. So the thing is that if you really progress in your career, citation score would be the key factor when somebody is going to decide of decisions having impact on your career. For example, whether they will hire you or they will let you go, whether they will give you access to grants, whether they will give you a promotion, or whether they will get your tenure. So this is a vicious circle again. So knowing how citation scores are massively important for everyone's career, if you're a female, if you enter the university, if you finish the university, if you're engaged in scientific labs work, and even if you make to publishing, that doesn't mean that you made it. Because if you already know that your chances of being cited, even if publishing in British Journal of Medicine, which is a dream for many authors, in comparison to your male colleague, you will be cited 26% as him. So there are several reasons. For example, medical associations and organizations are reluctant to invite female to be on their board or giving them grants. Then there are only fraction of female in senior positions. I can tell only in Netherlands because I live here. Only 3% of women are actually in leading positions on university. And although they might be in postdoc pool, I know in some of the fields like artificial intelligence, for female, it is allowed to be a secretary or having supportive role, but not in scientific part. Why it is so, I don't know. Another thing is that chronically, female researchers have much smaller networks than male counterpart. Also, when we are looking at the conferences, if you look at the conferences proceedings or at the conferences program, majority of speakers are still male. So why organizations are avoiding to invite female lecturers and female scientists who does have what to say? It is another problem with many facets and many factors having impact on this situation. But I would first invite scientific conferences to give a podium to female researchers because they do have what to say, which might increase their citation scores. Because if you don't hear someone talking in a conference and you don't have a chance to engage with that person in conversation about their work, which might be important for you and your research, how you're going to cite their work because you don't know. And it really strikes me that if the first author and the last author are both females, leading to the consequence that this is only 50% chance that it will be cited in another work, as in comparison with both male authors, it begs the question, why even senior positioned females are not cited more? It really puzzles me. I don't know. Maybe, another thing is that the only cure for this would be from association to give them a board more, to put them in boards, to maybe invite them more in conferences, and also in journals. Why don't you have specific bias removal when female authors are there? Maybe besides just giving a lip service to diversity, you do something at last. So I hope the situation will improve, but since Marie Curie had the treatment that she had, and Lise Meitner and many other famous scientists who were posthumously celebrated and many people benefited from their work, remember Rosalind Franklin. She really deserves the day in the court because it was obvious that her work was stolen from her. But nothing happens. As long as major organizations like Nobel Committee or significant journals, committees and boards and editors would be indifferent to this disparity and inequality, the situation will stay the same. So let's do something about that.